Hare Krishna Radha Pyari. Excuse me. हरे कृष्ण रद्द प्यारी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna
Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all gifts to Srila Prabhupada. This is Srinivas Balaji Das from Charlotte, NC.
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all gifts to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All gifts to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, all gifts Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Bangalore.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyare Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. My Dandvat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sushmita from Mississauga, Canada.
Hare Krishna Shrida Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Radha Pyari Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Sanga Dosha from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shyamagori Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much Mataji for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
We'll start recording for the introduction, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have Her Grace Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 9th chapter verse 23 onwards. First, I would like to hand over call to Ayan Prabhuji for a brief introduction of Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, all Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I would like to hand over call to Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Here is a very brief introduction for our dear speaker, Her Grace Krishna Rupa Devi Dasi. Mataji joined ISKCON in 1998 and was initiated by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj in 1999 at ISKCON Pune Temple. Mataji is a software engineer. Mataji has done her MBA from Amity University, BA from Mumbai University. Mataji is a Microsoft certified system engineer, a Cisco certified network professional, and a Java certified programmer. Mataji has over 10 years of experience in the IT industry. Mataji has worked for companies like HP, Dell, Wipro. Mataji is also a former teacher of Delhi Public School. Mataji gives motivational talks on stress management, art of positive thinking, time management, personality development, especially for school children, youth, and corporates. Over the years, Mataji has been invited to deliver several such seminars to students in various premier institutes, schools, and colleges of the country, like AIMS of New Delhi, and various other schools all over India. Mataji guides many young girl and women in leading meaningful lives of peace and happiness. Mataji conducted seminars on stress management, time management, art of positive thinking in companies like Dell, Wipro, Sony Channel, New Delhi. Mataji's current service in ISKCONs are teaching Bhakti Shastri classes, IDC classes, Srimad Bhagavatam study circles, and short seminars online, Sunday circuit school at her home. Here's a brief introduction for Mataji. Over to you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Always to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Mataji, I'd like to hand over call to you. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Conference Call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Radha Priya Mataji, and thank you so much, Narmada Priya Mataji, and Shama Gauri Mataji also, to invite me on a regular basis on the Bhakti Sangha Japa group and to purify myself. I'm very much happy to come always on the Bhakti Sangha group because I see the dedication of the devotees in all the parts of the world that every day devotees would like to attend the Bhagavatam class, and they are doing Nityam Bhagavata Seva. They're serving the Bhagavatam every day by just giving some oral reception. So I'm very thankful to the team of Bhakti Sangha Japa group that you are maintaining it so wonderfully and so nicely. Hare Krishna. So we have this particular Mataji has given me this particular shloka. I'm very fortunate enough to get the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, where Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Lord Nrsiing Dev. So we'll just do Mangalacharan and then we'll start. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So these are some very beautiful prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, which Prahlad Maharaj is saying. So maybe you could just repeat after me. Drishta maya divi vibho akhila dishnaya panam ayushriyo vaibhava इच्छति यंजनो अयम ये अस्मत् पितु कुपित हास विसृत भीत भूरः विस्फुरिजितेन लोलिता सातु ते निरस्तः. Please forgive me today. Now my voice is too bad and I'm having very high fever, so my voice might not just come out the way it generally comes out. And I have a loud voice actually, but maybe today it may not come out how it should be coming out actually. So we'll just read that quick translation. My dear Lord, people in general want to be elevated to the higher planetary systems for a long duration of time, opulence and enjoyment. But I have seen all of these through the activities of my father. When my father was angry and he laughed sarcastically at the demigods, they were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movement of his eyebrows. Yet my father, who was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. Purport, if somebody would like to read the purport. Purport, can somebody read the purport?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
Yes.
Yes, you all can go ahead with the purport reading.
Within this material world, one should understand by practicing experience the value of material opulence, languidity, and influence. We have actually experienced that even on this planet, there have been many great politicians and military commanders like Napoleon, Hitler, Subhash Chandra Bose, and Gandhiji. But as soon as their lives were finished, their popularity, influence, and everything else were finished also. Prahlad Maharaj formerly gathered the same experience by seeing the activities of Hiranyakasipu, his great father. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj did not give any importance to anything in this material world. No one can maintain his body or material achievement forever. A Vaishnava can understand that nothing within this material world, not even that which is powerful, opulent, or influential, can endure. At any time, such things may be vanquished, and who can vanquish them? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should conclusively understand that no one is greater than the Supreme Great. Since the Supreme Great demands Sarva Dharma Parityasya Mam Ekam Saranam Braja. Every intelligent man must agree to this proposal. One must surrender unto the Lord to be saved from the wheel of repeated birth, death, old age, and disease.
Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, if you see this 9th chapter, it is titled that Prahlad is pacifying Lord Nrsiing Dev with different prayers. And these are these prayers that are actually going on. So, after, Hiranyakashipu was killed, and everybody, all the demigods and everybody, even Lakshmi, her mother Lakshmi herself also, was very scared and frightened that how will I go and pacify my, husband also. But then on the order of Prahlad Maharaj, on the order of Brahma, Prahlad Maharaj goes and he pacifies the Supreme Lord by these beautiful prayers. And in the Bhagavatam, these are the longest prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj goes forward and he pacifies the Lord anger. And he's very confident, and he's very confident on what? He's very confident on the affection of Lord Nrsiing Dev, and he was not at all afraid. So he very much gravely, approached Lord Nrsiing Dev, and he's, offering obeisance at his lotus feet, and then with great affection, Lord Nrsiing Dev is also actually looking towards him, and he puts his hand on Prahlad's head. And the moment the Lord touched Prahlad's head, because Prahlad is just 5 years old child, he's touching, and immediately, the spiritual knowledge got awakened with Prahlad Maharaj. And then he's offering these beautiful prayers to the Supreme Lord. So if you see over here in the purport, what Prabhupada is actually mentioning is that he's saying that there is a surrendering process. And this particular surrendering process, which the Supreme Lord is demanding, is that at many places in the Bhagavad Gita also, if you see, he's given the surrendering process. Like just before Sarva Dharma Parityaja also, the 18.65 shloka also says that Manmana Bhav Mad Bhakto Madhya Jiva Namaskaro Mamevashi Satyam Te Pratijano Priyosmi. So he's saying that you always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and you pay your obeisances to me, and like that, you will come to me. And I am promising this to you because you are my very dear devotee. So if you see, that this man mana bhav mad bhakto, always think of me and, about me, and you become my devotee. And because why am I telling you? Because you are, you're my very dear devotee as such. Even in the 9.34 shloka also, if you see, the first two lines are similar. Manmana bhav madbhav madhyajiba namaskaro. So over there also it is referring to the mind. And he's saying mad bhakta, you offer your heart to me. Madhyajiba, you worship me. And you offer your obeisance. So basically, these four are meant to indicate that we offer our entire existence to Krishna. When I say manmana bhavana. So the difference between these two verses, the 9.34, was because there he's saying that Mam evaishi yuktavem atmanam mat parayana. So Mam evaishi means you will come back to me. And yuktavayam means like you become engaged, in such a manner. And you become engaged with what? You become atmanam mat parayana. If your heart and your soul will be engaged in these four processes, by bowing down and paying obeisances and all, and if your atma is mat parayana means what? Parayana means if your soul is towards me, it is devoted towards me, then you will come back to me. So even in the 18.65 shloka also, Krishna is telling something different. Therein the onus is on the devotees. Arjuna, you do like this, and then Mam Evashi, and you will come back to me. And how you will come back to me? This Yukt Vaivam, by being engaged in these ways. So Krishna is further even clarifying what is the engagement. And in this way, if you become atmana mat parayana, you become completely devoted, wholly devoted to me, then you will come back to me. But in 18.65, the emphasis is a little different, because in any relationship, it is important that both the parties, the one who is being loved and one who is loving, okay, both parties are offering something, right? So in 9.34, Krishna mentioned that the devotees need to offer atmana mat parayana. But in 1865, Krishna is telling that what I bring to this relationship, is relationship mein kya leke aata. So what does he bring to this relationship? Krishna is telling that Mam evashi satyam te. Satyam te means what? I am speaking the truth to you. Mam evashi. You will certainly come back to me. So even in Sarva Dharma Parityaja, he is telling something same. Do not fear, you come to me. And then he's saying that Prati jane priyo asmi. Priyo asmi. You are very dear to me, and I am Prati jane. Means I am declaring this. Prati jane means declaring. I am declaring this. This proclamation I'm making, very public proclamation I'm making. It's like a declaration, or you can say it's an affirmation also. So he's saying that, because see, even in the 9th chapter, 31st shloka also, it said that, na, Kaunteya prati janeti name bhaktya pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. So he's telling, go and declare, to the whole world that my devotee will never perish. So there Krishna made a declaration to the whole world. But now here, Krishna is making a declaration to everyone. I declare to you, Arjuna, you are my devotee, and this applies to everyone who is in the path of devotional service, or whoever is devoted to me, and all those who are even cultivating that aspiration of pure devotion service. So Arjuna, you just he's saying that you just redirect your heart to me, and then I will ensure that you will come back to me. So Krishna is not only telling Arjuna this, Krishna is telling us also this. So whenever there is a declaration, the promise is more serious. Why? Because if someone just goes out and he declares it publicly, then it is very serious. Ha, main karne wala hu, I'm going to do this. So Arjuna is thinking that you are telling me to do this, but there are so many other things that can be done, and those who are also, religious, they also will be asking me. So then, in the next shloka, this is the Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam shloka. He's saying that, see, this is also surrendering process only. Okay, this is what Krishna is asking. He's saying that Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham tam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami mahasucha. So he's telling just to abandon all varieties of, religion and just surrender unto me, and I will take care, I will deliver you from all the kinds of sins. Mahasucha, don't fear at all. So he's saying over there that give up all the types of, religion. Means to give up. See, this is actually, it's like a radical declaration which Krishna is making, because Krishna has come to protect dharma. On the battlefield, he has come to re-establish dharma. When he says yada yada hi dharmasya. So when dharma is going down, then Krishna comes to re-establish that dharma. And then why is Krishna telling to give up only that dharma? Why is he telling that give up all varieties of dharma? So apart from dharma also, he's saying mam ekam sharanam vraja. So apart from dharma, dharma of surrender to me, of pure devotion to me. So because see, it will be that dharma will be undistracted, it will be undiluted also, it will be pure devotion also. That is why he's saying that mamekam sharanam vrajaha. Surrender to me alone, not to anybody else. Not to your mind, not to your intelligence, not to anybody. Not to your wife, not to your children, not to, your relatives, not to your boss, not to anybody. You surrender to me alone. Now he's saying that why to me alone? Why me alone? Why is he demanding that you surrender to me alone? Just give me a minute. Because love is a matter of heart. Okay. And when devotional or bhakti is actually directed towards too many things, then we can't give it a wholehearted attention, right? So there is only one Krishna, and we have to put our faith in that one Supreme Lord Krishna. Yes, we can have many representatives as such, but we have to respect them also, like the other demigods and all also. But if you see that this Bhagavad Gita is coming, of course, we are doing the Bhagavatam, but because the purport is saying about Sarva Dharma Parityajya, we're discussing on the Sarva Dharma Parityajya part. The Bhagavad Gita is coming from the 6th Parva of the Mahabharata, which is the Bhishma Parva. Because all the previous Parva, like the Adi Parva, or Adi Parva means where the childhood life of Bhishma were discussed, or the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and then you have the Shabda Parva, where the dishonor of Draupadi happened, and there's a Virat Parva where they go into the jungle and live incognito, and then you have this Udyog Parva where the attempt to avoid the war was also there. So in this Udyog Parva, it is identified that actually there is a conflict between the Kshatriya Dharma and the Kula Dharma. Kula Dharma means which is going on from ancestral times. So of course, we come alone and we go alone from this world, right? And our eternal relationship is only with Krishna. Our family relationship is meaningful when they help us develop a relationship with Krishna. So this is very desirable, but in Vedic culture, there is one Para Dharma also. Para Dharma means spiritual dharma. And there is another Apara Dharma also, material dharma also. So, this Bhagavad Gita is actually a conflict between the Kshatriya Dharma and the Kula Dharma, which is Para Dharma and Apara Dharma. So that is why, and very nicely Krishna is resolving. Philosophically, he's telling that both these dharmas, the Apara Dharma and the Para Dharma, is Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto. You always remember me. And it is pure devotion to Krishna. And that is why a person should follow only Para Dharma and not Apara Dharma, because Para Dharma is only spiritual dharma. So when Krishna is telling, Sarva Dharma Paritteja Mamekam, here, he means that please give up all those Apara Dharmas, all those material, what do you say, dharmas. Whether you are a doctor, you're an engineer, and you are, you are a teacher, you're a prime minister, and you are a CEO. All these are apara dharma. These are material designations that are there. And then he's saying that, when he's saying that give up all those apara dharma, so then, okay, I give up apara dharma. Then what should I do? He's saying, Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Means what? You accept this Para Dharma. Para Dharma means you accept this pure devotional service to me. So then somebody might really question that, okay, how to take shelter of Krishna then? Of course, it's a very elaborate subject matter. But shelter has to be taken in this world, and we have to do certain activities in this world. So when we say Sarva Dharma Parityajya, doesn't mean that one has to become adharmic or accept the dharma which will help one to do Mamekam Sharan Braja. No. If someone has gone to a dharma from Para Dharma, then that is really wastage. But if someone has gone to Para Dharma from Para Dharma, then that is very glorious. Everything is provided by Krishna directly or indirectly, or even service to Krishna. In all circumstances, Krishna provides that. So when I say Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sharan means what? To give up those dharmas which are not favorable or which are pratikul to Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, which are not favorable to Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So, and we accept that dharma which is favorable to Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, which is favorable to the surrender to Krishna. So, if you see in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has adopted that Kshatriya Dharma. But that Dharma is external. Arjuna is doing that so that he can practice Para Dharma of Bhakti. So, Arjuna is not Kshatriya who is practicing Bhakti Yoga. He is a Bhakta who is doing Kshatriya Dharma. So the priority has to be very clear. So priority means what? First, I am a devotee. Then I may be an engineer, and I may be a doctor or a housewife or a temple president or a prime minister or a counselor or something. So first thing there is what? That I am a devotee. I belong to the Supreme Lord. Then I can take up these various roles which may be in the material world or in any institution that you could be in. So that is why when we say Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja means what? We accept that which enables us to surrender to Krishna. We accept whatever is favorable, we'll accept that, and whatever is unfavorable, reject. So if you see even in the Bhagavatam also over here, that Parikshit Maharaj has a very big responsibility of king. But when the time came to surrender to Krishna and took dharma as exclusive, so his dharma, he thought that let me, take up to hearing and chanting. So he immediately took up to hearing and chanting, and that is why in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, of course, you all know this particular shloka. This is the process of surrender to Krishna. That anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam raksheti vishwaso goparite varnam tatha Atma Atma Nikshepa Karpanye Sadvida Sharanagataha. So there are 6 elements to Sharanagati. And among these first 6, 2 are very important because they are actually actions, and the remaining 4 will be emotions. So first 2 is what? Anukulya se sankalpa, pratikulya virjana. Anukul means what? What is favorable you accept, and whatever is unfavorable you reject. So the first 2 are what? Action. And then rakshiti iti vishvaso. So for example, this faith, rakshiti iti vishvaso will gradually grow over a period of time. Rakshiti iti vishvaso is an emotion, right? And goparitve varnam tatha is that yes, Krishna is my maintainer. I'm being sustained by Krishna. And Rakshiti Shri Vishwasha also means that whenever there is danger, Krishna will definitely, protect me. And Goparitve means, in general, Krishna is my maintainer. Like, he will definitely maintain. Even if I'm on the road, he will be maintaining me. So that conviction, a devotee should have. And then we say that Atma Nikshepa Karpanye. Atma Nikshepa means what? My whole existence is depending on Krishna. मेरा पूरा अस्तित्व कृष्ण पे निर्भर है. And Karpanya means what? Karpanya means without Krishna, I am a big useless fellow on this earth. I am worthless. I cannot do anything. So, when we say Karpanya means it is utter humility. And all these are emotions, and they are very desirable emotions. They're not only emotions. They are like, these emotions should come, and these emotions, we should cultivate these emotions every now and then. Somewhere we can just write these, 6 elements of surrender, and we should always, keep remembering, yes, Krishna is my maintainer, and Krishna, my existence is depending on Krishna. So, this cultivation is, it is a progressive cultivation. It's not like that sometimes you follow and sometimes you don't. It's not like that sometimes you switch it off and sometimes you switch it on. Not that way. And in one moment, these things happen. And on a daily basis also, all these happen in a moment. So when you say these progressive emotions, what is required then? Action is required for these emotions. So, anukulya sa sankalpa, accept what is favorable and reject what is not favorable. So, this devotee will choose some proper action. Like for Arjuna, what is anukulya? Anukulya sa sankalpa is he's accepting his Kshatriya duty and he's putting aside that Kula Dharma. It's like, when he's accepting the Kshatriya Dharma, it is anukul. And when he is putting aside, this Kula Dharma, it's like Pardikul. Whatever is not favorable for me, he will put it aside. And sometimes, Arjuna might have a question also that, by killing my elders and killing my teachers and all, I will not, means I will get some sinful reactions also. So for that, Krishna said, don't worry. Even if there are sinful reactions, he's saying that aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshaishyami ma suchaha. So for the sake of Krishna, devotees give up the moral principle and they adopt a higher moral principle. And that is why Krishna assures that, see, I will protect you from all these sinful reactions. Ma sucha, do not fear at all. So when Krishna is saying this over here, he's saying that his affection is overflowing completely. Because even in the 7th chapter, Krishna has said that, to fix devotion, to be fixed in devotion, one has to become free from, sinful reactions. When he says that, Yesham tvandagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. So one has to end his sinful reactions by acting very piously and consistently throughout many lifetimes. He has to act as a pious. And then he's saying that Yesha tvandagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta. So he has to become free from dvanda moha nirmukta. Dvanda means what? He has to become free from duality. And moha means what? Illusion. So he has to become free from illusion also. And that is why when he does bhajan, becoming free from the duality of illusion, so then he'll become fixed in devotion. Bhajate mama dridvata. He becomes very much determined. He becomes fixed in devotional service. But here Krishna is telling what? Hey, even if you have, if you are not antagata papam, even if there is a pap, you come to me. You don't fear. I will relieve you from all those sins. So aham tam sarva papebhya moksha ishyami masucha. I will free you from all your sinful actions. So this is, this particular sentence of Krishna is saying that this is Krishna's wholehearted love coming out from his heart for that particular devotee, for that particular person. So because see, like in a train, when a particular child, tells the mother, that, I want to go for this nature's call. And, he goes to the washroom. But the child, spoils the cloth. Then the mother says, no, first you go clean yourself and then you come to me. But the child keeps on crying that, oh, mama, please, I don't want to do it. And so mother says, okay, you come to me. I will take care of it like as such. So Krishna is saying first he says that, Yesham tvandagatam papam. But when the devotee says, no, I'm very helpless, then Krishna says, okay, aham tam sarva papeba moksheshami mahasucha. Don't worry, I'll protect you. You just, come to me. So in this way, Krishna is expressing his intense love, or for his devotees. And in this particular shloka, Krishna is offering his love and is inviting us to love him also. And that is why the Bhagavad Gita primarily is a revelation for love and a call for love. If you see Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's also commentary, he's saying that Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja can even refer to two things. Ekam means it can be attached to Mam or to Sharanam. Okay. So Krishna has said that he's saying that Krishna as the only object of worship. And we accept surrender to Krishna as the means of that spiritual revelation. We completely try to surrender our whole existence to Krishna. Because see, in spiritual life also, there is sadhan. Sadhan means what? There is sadhya. There is goals also. So one meaning will be that we give up all the sadhan and accept the sadhan only for bhakti, right? Sadhan are the means and there is sadhya. Sadhya is the goal. So sadhan and sadhya, these two, means and the goals. So when so one meaning will be that we give up all the other means or the sadhan and we accept only the sadhans, the goal. The goal is what? The goal is only bhakti. And then what we do is sharanam prapadye sarvadharmam parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. So we completely surrender to Krishna. So when we take up this mam ekam, that means give up all other sadhya, give up, this moksha, give up this demigod worship, and you accept only Krishna as the sadhya. So Krishna is the only sadhya and bhakti is the only sadhana, the only goal. So this verse of the Bhagavad Gita, it is bringing the whole discussion to a conclusion. That is why it is the essence. They say that is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, and the Bhagavad Gita discusses on various means also and the goals also, sadhana also and sadhya also. And this is a part of this Vedic culture where there is a multi-level form of worship is there. So when we say in the Vedic culture, there are different levels of sadhya and sadhana. But that is also meant so that finally people come to this pure devotion to the Supreme Lord or to Krishna. So, which means that only my path is correct and all the other paths are wrong. It's actually a something very different exclusive idea. No, it is not an exclusive idea, because other paths also Krishna is using as dharma. So he is not rejecting those paths, but those are lower paths. But they are lower in the sense that they might make you reach a little later to Krishna, not very soon. So bhakti only to Krishna is such a path which leads to the fastest and the highest elevation. Like in the 9th chapter, he had said, in the 25th sloka, he had said, Yanti Deva Vratan Devan. So going to the Devtas are also not small things, For small things, we don't go to the demigods. And if you see this particular verse, when you say, it's a universal verse, as dharman can be, externals, and mamekam sharanam kram can be internals also. Like, for example, in the Krishna book, when you see that the Yagna Patnis are there in the Bhagavatam, in the Krishna book, and the Yagna Brahman, the Dharmas were not leading this mamekam sharanam raja. The Yagna Patnis were completely devoted to Krishna. And even if you see, when we say, that Mamekam Sharanam, Bali Maharaj also rejects his teacher. And it is Mamekam Sharanam Rajam. When gopis are visiting Krishna at the night time, which is, Para Dharma. So gopis even gave up their duties towards their children. And immediately they, ran. So for the sake of Krishna, we should not only give up the bad part of this world, but also the good of this world. Like the pious also if required, you give up that also. Because good and bad, pap and punya, both are on the material level. Whereas Krishna is at a very transcendental level. He's above the three modes of material. So externals are important, but their importance is so that we can surrender to Krishna internally. And same way, in the Vishnu Purana also, if you see that shloka, where he says that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. What is that shloka? Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartena jatu chet sarva vidhi nisheda sherar edo eva kinkaraha. So there also he's saying that these two principles, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, these should never be forgotten. And that is why he says over there that Mam Ekam Shadam, when the gopis, are seeing Krishna in the rasa dance, they are completely, completely surrendered to Krishna. And this particular surrender also requires some very extreme degree of sacrifice. And that is why Krishna is saying that Ma Sucha, do not fear. I am there for you over here. You give up everything. You give up everything that you have and you please come to me. You do not hesitate, So whatever we may have in this world gives us some sense of security and shelter. And it may be, it may be my material status or my job or my relationships. So Krishna is saying that give up that also and take up the real security from the real person, which comes by the surrender to himself. So because, see, why he's saying that, false security should be given and the real security should be taken? Because one person is only able to give us security. Nobody else is able to give us security. Because Krishna is only the supreme protector. Only he can give you that protection. So he can offer a protection which no one else can offer in the world. And that is why we know that Krishna is supremely strong and he's caring. And that is why he's saying, Ma Sucha, don't fear. Even if you have that slightest fear, you please remove that off. And we sometimes we may fear because, because we have to give up. Surrender means you give up everything. That is why we fear. If I give up this, what will happen? If I give that, what will happen? So when we may fear, because when we're giving up something, but what we are giving up is the source of, our pseudo security. And that is why even in the second canto of the Bhagavatam, he says over there that now what is that shloka? I forget. Deha patya kaladrisho atma sannesha astava api tesham pramatto nidhanam pashyan api na pashyati. So it says that somebody is getting security from this deha and apatya, from children, from kalatra, from somebody's wife. And adishu means some relatives also are there or friends are also there. And so through them we are getting some security. But then in the next sentence he's saying that atma saineshva asatva api. So if somebody is singing atma saineshva, one thinks that these are my protectors, this is my sena, this is these are my warriors, they will protect me. So he's telling that and with these people, with these relatives and my wife and my children, I'll protect myself. So he's telling that no, astav api, but all of these they are temporary. In my past life, I do not know who was my wife, children, relatives, brother, sister, mother, I do not know. And in my next life also, I do not know whether these people will be there in the next life. So that is why all of them are temporary and they cannot give us permanent protection. So then he's saying that Tesham pramotto nidhanam pashyan apina pashyati. So when one is seeing this, futility of all these and he's holding on to, though he's seeing that, my grandparents have left, now these people one day or the other will leave. So though he's saying, he's not seeing. So Krishna does not want us to stay in this illusion like this. And he does not want us to suffer in this kind of, pseudo security. So, because this type of security is, causes uncertainty. And we may feel that, okay, this will provide me safety and security, but we are not sure if, this will provide me safety or not. So Krishna is telling that do not fear. And do not think that when you will take shelter of me, I will not protect you. I will definitely protect you. Ma Sucha, do not fear. See, if you see with this only Hiranyakashipu over here, okay? Hiranyakashipu was such an arrogant person that he thought that I will give protection to everybody. But he was not giving protection. He was just, extracting. He was just using them for his own sense gratification. He was thinking that just at the tip of my, foot, everybody will come and bow down to me. He had this, mother. He had this pride. And that is why, see, what did, the Supreme Lord do? He vanquished Hiranyakashipu within a moment. He did not take time at all. And that is why, in the purport, Prabhupada is writing that, uh, uh, you know, uh, 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 these things, all these powerful opulence and all these, they cannot give us any protection. Only the Supreme Lord can give us protection, and that is why any intelligent person should agree to this Sarva Dharma Paritij, because when we are giving up the material things for sake of Krishna, then we have to understand that we are giving up is far tiny things that we are giving up than what we are going to get. So it's exactly like a drop of water in the ocean that I'm going to give. But what is Krishna going to give us? It's like a big ocean that we are going to get when we surrender to Krishna. So even Prabhupada himself is a big example that he used his intelligence in serving Krishna. He was always thinking of Krishna and the best way to serve Krishna. And that is why he used to write books. He said that I should start an institution or what. He used to keep on asking, okay, should I go to America? And that is why when we sincerely serve Krishna, then he also gives us that intelligence. It's not like that Krishna will not give us intelligence. And that is why this process of surrender is such a important element in our life, or in the element in the process of the surrender, that even in the 15th chapter, 5th shloka, Krishna says that Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha आध्यात्म नित्य विनिवर्तत कामः द्वंद्वैर विमुक्त सुख दुःख समग्नैर गच्छन्ति अमूढ़ा padam avyayat tat. He is saying over there that only those people who do not have this false prestige and illusion, and that who understand that Krishna is eternal, who are not having false association, they are free from this dvanda moha, dualities of happiness and distress, and those who are not even bewildered, they know how to surrender to the Supreme Lord, and that is why they will attain Krishna's eternal kingdom. Now, somebody might ask, oh, these people will be able to attain, because when he's saying nirmana moha, without any prestige, nirmana, man liya bagair, without any prestige, and moha is illusion. And he's saying jita sanga dosha, because sometimes when we take some false association, then we have some faults also. So faults of those association also, jita sanga dosha. And then he's saying that adhyatma nitya. So adhyatma nitya means what? Adhyatma means spiritual, and nitya means spiritual knowledge. He is situated eternally in that spiritual knowledge. And then he's saying Vinivarta Kamaha. Vinivritta Kamaha means what? That when he gives up that lust. Because see, Prabhupada there he writes that it is disassociated from lust. Vinivritta. Vritta means, inclination. When you say he has this vritti, vritti inclination. And nivritti means what? To go against that particular inclination, or means to give up, right? Okay. So, because see, in the Vedic path also there are two, paths. One is the Vedic conception also there are two paths. One is the pravritti marg and one is the nivritti marg, which is the path of attachment and detachment. So when you say pravritti means attachment and nivritti means detachment. And see, in the morning also we do some pravritti and nivritti, right? The 4 do's and don'ts, right? We do pravritti means what? We will get up in the morning early, we do Mangala Aarti, we, recite some daily prayers as such, and we chant. So that is positive pravritti we do. And nivritti means what? That which we don't do. So what we don't do? we don't do these 4 things. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, right? So, so this can be roughly equated with like, karma kanda and karma sannyas also. Giving up activity and practicing certain activities with Gyan Yog, and engaging in that particular path. But beyond this is also what? Beyond this is Bhakti Yoga, which is being in this world, but fixing my heart on that object which is beyond this vinivritta kamaha, so that we don't have to renounce the world, but we have to renounce the desire to enjoy the world, right? So that is why this word nivritti is used, which means what? You retire from these sense gratification. And when we say vinivritta kama means detachment from sensual enjoyment, right? And somebody might ask that, but why? Just give me a minute. Why only vinivritta kama? Because desire for this sensual enjoyment is binding the soul. It binds the soul, and that is why he says, no, prakriti hi bhungte bhojate jana gunaha. So he's starting, this person, he starts watching all the emotions of a movie, and they start coming upon him. Whatever he's watching in the movie, anger, the anger comes upon him. If there is fear, he keeps started fearing. But if I do not watch a movie, then those emotions will not be coming up. वो मुझ पे हावी नहीं होंगे. So as long as we have this desire to enjoy in the material world or enjoy these material things or this particular existence, so many of these emotions will overwhelm us. But when we give up our entanglement of this material desire and we become attachment, then what? We become detached. Then what exactly happens is dvander vimukta sukha dukkha samagner. Dvande vimukta means what? One becomes detached from these dvanda, happiness and distress. He becomes detached. And then sukha dukkha samagner. One remains very much equipoised in happiness also and distress also. And a person who can do this is gachanti amudha padam avyayam tat. Such a person is amudha. He is not bewildered. He is unbewildered with all these dualities. And that is why this particular person is well situated and is not caught up in the material energy. See, material energy only makes us mudha. And and this person who is situated in this consciousness is amuda, in whose consciousness, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness, amuda, and that person will be padam avyayam tat. That person will attain that eternal destination, padam avyayam. Because if you see this padam avyayam word, he has used even in the 8th chapter also. Padam Avyayam. And as such, when he's saying that Avyaktokshariti Yuktas, in the 8th chapter, he's saying that because there, in that 8th chapter, Krishna is describing his abode over there. Avyakto Akshara iti Uktas. Tam ahu param gatim. And yam prapyana nirvadan tad dhama paramam mamaha. So what is the nature of this Krishna's abode? He's saying that this is avyakto akshara and it is supreme destination, but that particular abode of mine is not perishable, it is imperishable. And how can that abode be attained? Then that abode can be attained only by surrender to me. And that's why, in the 15th chapter also, he's elaborating more on, one has to surrender to the Supreme Lord, and how can this surrender be done. And Prabhupada, in many of his purports, he explains that how is that surrendering process there, because somebody, in Prabhupada's many lectures, now if you see, he describes that the first qualification that one should have, uh, uh, or one should not have, in fact, should be that he should not be deluded by pride. And that is saying nirmana, no ahankar. And why he's saying that there should not be nirmana? Because one recognizes that, yes, I am being kicked by the material nature. Material nature is making me dance like a puppet. I think I can do this. But actually, I am so very powerless, or I am so very fragile, that I'm just made to be tossed like a leaf which is tossing in this waves of material nature. So I have to go beyond the waves of this material nature. And then what happens is that when I get that anchor that is beyond the reach of the waves, that anchor is actually the Supreme Lord. So then these material waves will not toss us, because I'm sufficiently enough anchored to the Supreme Lord. So we need to be very strong to admit that we are not strong enough. Many people feel that, being strong means not admitting the weaknesses. No. I can put a mask of peacefulness, but unless some shelter is taken within that mask also, uh, you know, I have to take some shelter. Otherwise, that mask will not last long. That mask will immediately fall off, because there are so many adversities in this material world. So, for a conditioned soul to admit that I'm a very weak person is very difficult. But a devotee has a self-confidence that, in the form that, they have confidence on Krishna, and when one has that, he can take shelter of Krishna also. So a devotee thinks that I am a tool in the hand of Krishna, and Krishna can make me dance the way he wants, but and as long as he thinks that I can do, all everything, and I can, I don't need any help. So then what happens is that he falls apart. But as long as one thinks that I can do all, and one cannot, seek help of anyone, what to speak of Krishna's help. So humility is very important in this. To admit that I have this weakness is actually a sign of humility. And that is why when we say uh, nirmana moha, when he says moha means, I and mine. This mine, and that is mine, and she's mine, and he's mine, and I'm the proprietor, and that is why I'm attached. And then he's saying that Jita Sanga Dosha. Jita Sanga Dosha means what? These modes are creating dualities. And these dualities, they become faults, which is binding me in this material existence. But Jita Sanga Dosha, one is like, you can be freed also. And that is why he says that when I stay in that spiritual consciousness, uh, I will be free from lust. I'll be free from vinivritta kamaha. And I will be free from even dvanda more vimukta. I'll be free from even dualities also. So that is why we have to cultivate this knowledge. What is actually my own and what is not actually my own. Because see, what is my own? My connection to Krishna is my own. Because if you see in Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, no, that Ami to tomar, tumi to amar ki ji karan aparade. Krishna, I am yours and you are mine. So what other wealth do I want? I don't want any other wealth other than. So, you have to make a harmony with your externals and your internals. in the service of Krishna. And then when our connection with Krishna is our most important property, till the time I'm connected to Krishna, that's the biggest property I have. But when I'm not connected, see, to connect with Krishna, there are many other ways also. Chanting, hearing, all these are different. So, Nivritta means to retire. And Vinivritta means what? To completely, totally retire. No chance of coming back to his material world. And that is why this Vedic culture also does not encourage divorce, but it is encouraging divorce of the soul from the matter. Reap it apart. And that will lead us to that supreme, liberation as such. So that is why I have to, and that is why, what is sannyas yoga? Sannyas yoga means only that you put yourself aside from matter, and yoga means you connect yourself with the spirit. That is actually sannyas yoga. So this is what actually Prahlad Maharaj is also telling, that every intelligent man must agree to this proposal, because Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is saying that Sarva Dharma Parityaja, you agree to this proposal, and he should surrender himself, so that if he will get out of that cycle of birth and death, he does not have to take again and again birth, and all the time he can remain in the association of the Supreme Lord. Now, if you see the next shlokas also, you will see that in the next shlokas also it will tell about Janma karma che me divyameva nyoyari tyaktavataha. He'll tell you that why, how we can return back home, back to Godhead, by understanding the Supreme Lord and his activities. Because Krishna has come for Dharma Sanstapana. And in the next shlokas, he will tell you that why we need to understand the activities of the Supreme Lord. Because even somebody might question, or even Kunti Maharani in that matter says that you are unborn, and how it happened that you took birth from Devaki and Vasudev. That means you're transcendental. Born with because Krishna, when he was born with a very nice dress and ornaments, and in Vishnu form, he was a very extraordinary, transcendental looking child. So, those who understand that Krishna's activities are transcendental, they will go back to Krishna. And Krishna, because Krishna does not show his divinity to anybody and everybody. He conceals his divinity to those who are not his devotees. So there are lovely exchanges happening between Krishna and his devotees. But for the non-devotees, he will, cover them up. Non-devotees will not be able to see. And that's how the Supreme Lord is inviting us every now and then through the Bhagavad Gita, that please come to me. If you come over here, you don't have to go back. If you come over here, you don't have to go back. Because if you see Brajvasis, they know only, they know that Krishna is God, but it is not in the foreground. Because in the daytime, if you see, the star is there, but because of the presence of the sun, the star is in the background. Nobody realizes. It is just knowledge. But when the required time comes, the knowledge comes up in front. So, in the spiritual world, there is Yogamaya. In the material world, there is Mahamaya. Over there, Yogamaya is the energy of Krishna. It makes the devotees of Krishna to forget Krishna's position as Krishna, as Supreme Person or God. And why does Yogamaya help them to forget that? Because the love and devotion towards Krishna will increase. That is why Yogamaya covers that particular, knowledge of the Brajavasis. And over here, Mahamaya is that which makes this living entity forget Krishna. This is the difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya. So, Krishna is supreme, but he is subordinate, or he subordinates his position for unlimited love or unrestricted love of the Brajavasis towards him. So Krishna likes that spontaneous love. Krishna is an actor, you can say. Yogamaya is actually the director, but the script writer is Krishna himself only. So ultimately, he is the supreme, and the whole pastime is happening by Krishna's will only. So, even in that pastime, when Mother Yashoda is actually chasing Krishna, he feels himself like a small child. He did not think that, oh, I'm God, and how can she catch me? When he's performing Leela, he forgets himself and totally he's absorbed in this Leela. But by his plan, whenever he wants, he comes back to his original position as Supreme Lord. Like, for example, when he actually in the same pastime, he remembers that, oh, my devotee has promised Nal Kubera and Manigrave that they will be liberated now, so I have to liberate them. So then when we understand Krishna with tattva, with love, and we will love him more if we understand him in philosophically very nice in tattva, then we love him more, and we will want to go back to him. We want to return back to him, because without going back, all this is just entertainment for us. Okay, it could be nice stories where Krishna, Mother Yashoda chased him, and he actually liberated Nalkuver and all. So all these things would be just nice stories to us. But no, without that tattva, the truth, Krishna Leela is just very amusing and good stories, entertaining. But Krishna Tattva also, it is very amazing. It's very sweet also. And Krishna does it in a very, very nice way, and amazing and sweet way. And how does he do it? He says that, uh, uh, and he says that, I want to love the devotees, and the devotees want to love me. And that is why I'm doing all this. And that is why, if you see that in the purports also, in that purport also, Prabhupada is saying that non-devotees will never understand this. Or the philosophers also will never understand. Or the Mayavadis will also not understand that who God is. But those who are devotees of the Supreme Lord, they will understand. And he calls those philosophers also that they're licking the bottle of honey from outside. But because why they are licking the honey, bottle of honey from outside? Because they don't know Krishna in Tattva at all. And that is why, who can understand this? Only my devotee can understand this. And only by bhakti we can know this. So in the 18th chapter also, the same chapter that we are seeing, that Krishna is telling that Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Only by bhakti you will know me. Otherwise, it's not possible to know me. Only bhakti, through bhakti only, you will be able to understand me. Otherwise, it is very difficult to understand me. So, with this, I will rest my speech. If somebody has any queries, questions, doubts, you all can please ask me.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for the beautiful lecture. Dear devotees, if anybody having any questions or realizations, please go ahead. You can raise your hand if you have any questions.
Mataji, Hare Krishna Dev. Thank you very much for wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Radha Mataji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. I don't have any questions. I'm requesting devotees. If anybody have any questions or realization, please go ahead. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautiful class.
I'm sorry I was not able to give full justice to the shloka because my voice is very bad. I have a high fever, cold and cough also. So my morning class I had actually dissolved, but this class I thought that I should take it. My morning Hindi class I had dissolved because morning it was very horrible. But I beg apologies if you'll have not been able to understand or some word not clear or something like that.
No, Mataji, your voice was good. We were able to understand everything. Thank you for accepting even though you have fever. Very grateful to you. Thank you. Yeah, looks like nobody have question, Mataji. Everybody is thanking you.
Sure, yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Mataji. Vanchakalpatarubhesha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव जय जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की
Mataji, I'm so sorry, Mataji. I didn't know you have a high fever and
गौरंग
you are sick.
नित्यानंद
Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरि बोल
Hare
हरि
Krishna,
हरि बोल।
Mataji. Yeah, please take care, Mataji, and please take rest. So sorry. You are so sick and still you have to give class. I didn't know you are sick, Mataji.
No, Mataji, actually I had already promised, so then we will find a quick speaker also, na? Then I said, no, I will continue.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so much.
Mataji, for understanding that
so
we
much,
can.
Mataji.
It's very difficult last minute cancellations, and you came even though you are sick. Very grateful to you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today's class. We'll close the call for today. Hari Bol.
Hare